Ever since last week when I made this flower crown, I have been thinking about ways of dressing up my hair around the flower crown. Well, my favorite look to wear with the flower crown is just long curly hair and then your flower crown. Most of the time, if I were to wear it, it would be for Day of the Dead, in which case I would want my hair up because of the makeup, the face makeup. So this would not be happening right now. Anyway, I have been trying to figure out ways of maneuvering this beauty into a hairstyle, and I found 4 ways to do so. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Stick around towards the end because I am going to be also talking about a few plans that are coming up in this channel, in my shop, in the near future. I'm excited. I hope you are as well. Hi everyone, I'm Gonzalez-Gibson with Kaleidoscopes and Polka Dots, where I sell handmade, vintage-inspired jewelry for the soul who's in love with the past, wholeheartedly lives in the present, and embraces the future. If you enjoy videos relating to vintage fashion, jewelry, and books, then please hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so that you never miss a video. And please also sign up to my newsletter because that is where I give weekly updates about what's going around here and other news that is only exclusive to those that sign up. So for today's hairstyles, I kind of just started off with a primary hairstyle and then added on to that one because I really just appreciate a simple hairdo. Something that is quick, fun, easy, and something that will last throughout the day. I have tried all of these hairstyles a number of times. Well, not all of them. 3 of them. A number of times, and I love them. So this is the last do. Now let's move on to the first do. The first hairdo is going to be a half up, half down do. So this one is actually one that I wore a lot as a teenager. I loved it. It was so cute. It was all the rage as far as all the TV that I was watching, and it's very, very simple. For all of these hairstyles, I am using clear elastics, a straight edge, and some bobby pins. Today I am on day 5 hair. In between washes, I use a lot of dry hair shampoo, and I use 2 versions of them. I use the Dove because it's scented and it's lovely. I only use this when my hair is starting to smell a bit. It happens, we all have it. You know. But most of the time, I really enjoy this powdered version, which is called Volumizing Dry Shampoo for all hairs. This one takes a little bit of getting used to because it is powder and therefore you really have to work it in. This one also you have to really work in, but I find that because I use it so far away from my head most of the time, it's not as big of a problem with hiding all of the white cast. It's day 5 hair. So there's a lot of those in here. You'll also have to forgive me because I am not using anything but my viewfinder as my mirror. I have basically just separated my bangs because these are going to be cute and delicate in front of my face, and now I am working with just the lengths that are next to my ears. I basically just find my ear and go straight up, and that is what I use for the sides. Now here I'll use a bobby pin, but we're going to exchange this for a little clear elastic shortly. So when you tie your hair, you want to make sure that all of the little hairs that could potentially get caught up in your hair tie are free and loose and part of the length of the hair. So this is it without your flower crown, but with your flower crown there's a little bit more to be done. So because I left the wire naked, I find that it's very easy to work with. Instead of getting a lot of traction with your hair, you could just slide your flower crown over top and hide it right there. Now, if you trust that your flower crown is not going to go anywhere, leave it like this. This is great. But because I don't trust that my flower crown is not going to go anywhere, I'm going to do a little bit of a trick. this is the first hairstyle. I love it. It's so simple. Anybody can make it happen for themselves, I'm sure. The next hairstyle is either a French braid or a Dutch braid. I think I'm going to do a French braid because my last one is going to be a Dutch braid, but just keep in mind you can do whatever you want here. And again, I'm not using a mirror, so forgive me if I'm off a little. The difference between a Dutch braid and a French braid is the pattern that you follow when you braid. For a French braid, you take the working strand and you loop it over the next strand. You continue this and you end up with a really subtle braid, in my opinion. Whereas for a Dutch braid, you do the exact opposite. You go under the next strand, and doing that pattern actually provides you with a more defined braid. Both braids are lovely, but in this case I am just doing a French braid, which is my alma mater. And that is the second look. So what I basically did was the French braid, and then I expanded the braid once it was finished. I think this looks very pretty, but to be honest, I hardly ever wear my hair like this because for some reason I find it just really hard to go about my day with just a long braid. Here I am making a bun by creating a loose knot and keeping it in place with a few bobby pins. This is how I would wear it. I love this. I feel so free to do whatever I want. And if these tend to get in my way, I'll just put some bobby pins in as well and just hide them. When you're using the bobby pins, you don't need that many, honestly, because your hair is already braided. You don't need that many to keep it in. You just need enough to keep it in place. But you know your hair better than I do. I just know that with the grittiness of the hair and the fact that it's in a braid, I don't need very many to keep it in place all day long, and I can move it around as much as I want. And if they are new bobby pins especially, you don't need to worry. Those things are made for this. Trust in the bobby pin. Next is the side braid, and the reason that I love the side braid so much is because it's so romantic and it gives attention to another side of your hair, not just the front. So this time, instead of incorporating the centerpiece right away, we are waiting until we get near that area to incorporate it. Ultimately, this braid should be right below your flower crown. Hopefully everything will work out seamlessly because I've only tried this once or twice and it worked out. But these flowers were a lot fresher and I didn't have to be so cautious around them. But they look so pretty. Anyway, let's do this. As I noted earlier, when making a Dutch braid, you take your working strand and work it under the next strand. And to avoid any kinks in your braid, try to untangle it as much as possible. See that loose strand? I didn't notice it until I was editing. Had I noticed it, it would not have been a big deal because I was not planning on wearing my side braid down. But if you were, you would want to go back and fix your braid from the beginning. To save yourself a little bit of time, I would wrap it around in a loose knot and secure it with a few bobby pins. That is what I'm doing here. I really could have used it with some black elastics. This is fine for this video because ultimately this look looks beautiful from a front. You know, you could see the elastic, I'm sure, and oh, it would bother me. So I would ultimately lose the elastic and just add some more bobby pins. But because of the elastic, I don't have to use as many bobby pins, which is just always a blessing. I don't know about you, but I have a love-hate relationship with them. They sometimes give me headaches, but I can't go without them, especially because my hair needs to be up when it hasn't been washed in a few days. This is it. This is the look. I love it. I think it looks so beautiful. As you probably noticed, this little beauty is probably only going to be worn a few times before it has to be let go of, or maybe redone at some point in the future. But I love it. Look at how pretty she is. This is the third look. For the last hairdo, we're going to go back to the very first hairdo that we started off with, except this time we're going to aim it to be closer to the lower part of our head. And that is because we are going to take pieces of our hair and wrap it around that hairstyle. So let's get to it. What I'm basically doing here is taking strands from the length of my hair and looping them through the half updo. I'm doing this with chunks of hair at a time, not big chunks, but middle-sized chunks. And as I'm looping it through, I angle the length off to the side. I tried looping it through the middle and it just created a lot of stress for my hair, which really bums me out. I hate being hard on my hair, but it's inevitable. It also helps with keeping tension in place for the hairdo, which helps minimize the need for more bobby pins. Towards the end of this hairdo, that's when I finally add my flower crown and do the same. Follow the same pattern, loop them through, angle them. As you work around, you'll realize that you are working with the same lengths of hair that you already worked with. That felt a little strange to me in the beginning, but that also helps with minimizing the need for more bobby pins, which is always a plus. And that is it. I really love the way it looks. I hope you do as well. That is it for my video today. I hope you enjoyed all of these hairstyles. I really loved creating them for you. I know a lot of you really enjoyed my very first hair tutorial for the Frida Kahlo braids 4 ways. So I thought this would just add on to that. So as far as what's coming up in the pipeline for Kaleidoscopes and Polka Dots, it is a new collection. It is going to be very reminiscent of Frida Kahlo. Her style, her aesthetic, kind of, you'll see it. So here on the channel, I am going to be merging a bit. I am going to be showcasing my process of creating a product, because the things that I sell, as I've said a number of times, they are not my first draft. They are like my 8th draft. And I thought that would be really fun for you to see, as well as see where I'm getting the inspiration, because all of my collections tend to have a theme around them, and they are very, very near to my heart. However, I don't think that I do generally a very good job of telling these stories on social media, but I think it's a lot easier to do so through YouTube, through this medium, where I can actually use my words, use my voice, and just have it here for you to reference in the future. I'm really excited about it because I'm also going to be like researching a lot about Frida Kahlo and about Hispanic culture. I am Mexican American. I moved here when I was 5 and I only went back once. So I feel very distant from my culture a lot of the time. I really want to understand that side of my background better. And I'm excited to share it with you. I hope you stick around. I hope you're as excited as I am. You possibly cannot be. Anyway, that is it for my video today. I hope you enjoyed it. I will talk to you again very soon. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and sign up to my newsletter. Thank you so much for your time. Bye. I feel like a princess, a flower princess. And oh, I am so excited to actually wear this one day out and about. I don't know, maybe it's because the leaves aren't as green and as like wavy that I really like this a lot more than I did initially. But it is very sensitive, so there's that.